And we are live.
Liz, when does introduction start?
We are live. You can start.
Marcus, you can start.
Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to our third listening session that is strongly focused on student voice. I'm joined tonight by lovely people from the Boston Student Advisory Council, as well as our co-chair, or two other co-chairs of the search committee, as well as the entire search committee and members of the BPS central office staff. So as people are kind of trickling in, I'm going to turn it over to Josie from BSEC to kick us off.
All right. Just gonna wait for a couple more people to join in. Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Ok, boa noite a todos.
Welcome to the third in a series of community sessions on the search for a new superintendent for the Boston Public Schools. My name is Josihana Colon, and I'm a student at New Mission High School. My colleagues, Brian Gomez from the Office of Family and Community Engagement and Wellington Matos from Fenway High School will join me in supporting tonight's conversation. We're also offering interpretation this evening. Brian, may I ask you to introduce our interpreters today?
Thank you so much, Josiana. I would love to introduce the following interpreters that we have on tonight. Our Mandarin interpreter.
Hello, this is Tina Wang. I will be your Mandarin interpreter. 大家好，我是您的普通话翻译。那么一会儿会打开 Zoom， 然后我们会请您上线来选择我们的普通话翻译。好，祝您今晚过得愉快。Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Our French interpreter.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Marwana Benaoum. I will be the French interpreter for this evening. Bonsoir, je m'appelle Marwana Benaoum, je serai l'interprète de français pour ce soir. S'il vous plaît, si vous avez besoin d'interprétation en français, de chercher et cliquer sur le globe et choisir la langue française. Merci. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Our Haitian interpreter.
Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. Nom c'est Nadège. Moi, c'est un créole haïtien interprète pour nous à soir. Si nous avons besoin d'interprétation créole haïtien, tant pis, cliquez sur le globe qui dit créole haïtien. J'espère que nous va apporter un bon service pour nous-mêmes et bonne écoute. Merci.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Our Spanish interpreter.
Hello. I'm Randolph Dominguez, your Spanish interpreter. Buenas noches todo el mundo. Mi nombre es Randolph Dominguez. Voy a ser su intérprete del idioma español. Por favor, para accesar el idioma español, deben de buscar un globo en la parte inferior de su pantalla. Van a pulsar allí y van a seleccionar el idioma español.
Thank you so much. Our Vietnamese interpreter.
Good evening, everyone. My name is V. I will be your Vietnamese interpreter for tonight's meeting. Kính chào quý vị, tôi tên là Vi, tôi sẽ là thông dịch viên của quý vị vào buổi tối ngày hôm nay. Xin quý vị nhìn vào màn hình tìm thấy quả cầu thì bấm tiếng Việt, Vietnamese để có thể nghe được thông dịch viên dịch lại cho quý vị hiểu. Cảm ơn rất nhiều. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our Arabic interpreter.
Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed Al-Rubai. I will be your Arabic interpreter today. مرحبا، أنا اسمي أحمد الربيعي، أنا مترجم اللغة العربية لهذا اليوم. بإمكانكم الاستماع إلى الترجمة باللغة العربية من خلال الذهاب إلى أسفل الشاشة. ستشاهدون علامة الكرة الأرضية. اضغط على هذه العلامة وتظهر لك اختيارات اللغات. قم باختيار اللغة العربية وعندها ستتمكن من اختيار اللغة العربية والاستماع إلى الترجمة. شكرا جزيلا. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our Cape Verdean interpreter.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Armando Monteiro. I'm going to be your covering intérprete. Boa noite, senhoras e senhores. Meu nome é Armando Monteiro. A minha intérprete de crioulo cabo-verdiano. Para nós acessar nosso canal, nós também na parte inferior do computador, onde botar um pequeno globo, botar fazer clique e botar a opção de escolha de língua de preferência que é crioulo cabo-verdiano. Boa noite. Obrigado. Thank you, guys. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. For Portuguese interpreter.
Good evening, everyone. This is Juan Bernal, Spanish and Portuguese interpreter. I'll be doing Portuguese tonight. Boa tarde para todos. Meu nome é Juan Bernal. Sou intérprete simultâneo para português. Para acessar o recurso da interpretação, localize o ícone do globo localizado no canto inferior da tela. Faz clique sobre o globo e selecione português como seu idioma de preferência. O evento, se você estivesse conectando-se de iPhone, iPad ou tablet, localize os 3 pontinhos na parte superior da tela e selecione português como seu idioma da preferência. O evento começa em breve. Obrigado.
Thank you so much, Juan. We also have our ASL interpreters. You guys can definitely wave and both Kylie. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We also want to deeply apologize that the one interpreter we weren't able to have is Cantonese speaking. So we definitely wanted to apologize for any inconvenience that may cause. And I'll pass back the mic to Wellington.
This is Wellington speaking. We will now turn on the interpretation feature. Please note that everyone needs to join a channel, including English speakers. If you want to listen to the conversation in English, please join the English channel by clicking on the globe icon at the bottom of your screen. To support your ASL interpreters, please name yourself before speaking like I did right now. And please also share your neighborhood and affiliation with Boston Public Schools. Once again, good evening and welcome. Both Josie and I are representatives from the Boston Student Advisory Council, also known as BSAC. BSAC is a body of high school students that serve as a primary vehicle for student voice for the district. BSAC is made up of a diverse group of students who attend Boston Public Schools. We advocate for the student voice to be at the center of decision-making. Thank you all to all the students and young people who are in attendance this evening. Your thoughts and opinions are so important to this process. Tonight's meeting, including a transcript of the chat, will be recorded to serve as a resource for search committee members to make available for those who cannot be here today. Again, both the chat transcript and the Zoom recording will be available for the public on the Superintendent Search webpage. Search committee members will be considering comments in 3 forms: through public comment, those added in the chat, as well as those submitted via email. In this listening session, questions will not be addressed directly. Rather, committee members will be listening to your input. If you have questions about the process, please email superintendentsearch@bostonpublicschools.org. Before I turn the session over to our host for tonight, I'd like to share some session norms for our time together. We ask that participants be 1, open to new or different ideas or opinions; 2, respectful of each other's voices; and 3, focus with comments specific to the search of our next superintendent. At this time, I would like to turn the microphone over to our search committee host for this evening, Marcus Mcneil, co-chair of the superintendent search, a senior at Fenway High School, and Jessica Tang, president of the Boston Teachers Union and search committee member, who will formally kick off tonight's session. Perfect. Thank you, Wellington. Again, everyone, my name is Marcus Mcneil. I am a senior at Fenway High School, and I'm also the co-chair of the search committee to find the next superintendent of Boston Public Schools. So once again, thank you, Wellington, and welcome everyone to our 3rd of our community listening sessions. These sessions are critical opportunities to gather feedback from families, students, community partners, and the general public regarding the qualities and characteristics Boston wants to see embodied in our next superintendent. The search committee has been tasked by the school committee to conduct a thorough search. I cannot emphasize enough how much we need to count on your input, and we are so eager to engage in a full search for the right candidate, and that begins with hearing from you in our listening sessions. But before we get to the agenda, I'd like to introduce a special guest with us this evening, Mayor Michelle Wu, who has joined us. Mayor, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Chair McNeil. Thank you, Josiana and Wellington, and members of the search committee, members of the school committee, President Tang, and members of our central office and BPS community as well. And thank you most of all to our young people who are ready to share your thoughts and vision and instructions for this group as the city looks for the next leader of our school system. I just want to thank you for taking the time to be involved and to make sure that we are connecting every step of the way to the communities and really trying to meet everyone where they are and even the design of this process. For me, it's been a whirlwind 120 plus days, and this is one of the most important pieces of what the city could be doing, is really setting a course for our school system and for our school communities through direct conversations and feedback from you all. So I just wanted to emphasize how important this is, that you are here, how meaningful it is that you're taking the time to do this, and how much it matters to have your feedback. So thanks again, everyone. Looking forward to continuing this process. And I guess the last thing I'll say is that we want to make sure that the very important choice of our next superintendent reflects the needs and urgency and dreams and potential of our district. We also want to, or at least I want to ensure that this is not just about choosing one person who's going to be a savior for the district or a superhuman entity who will be able to all of a sudden address every need. We need everyone to stay involved all throughout our years ahead, even after we've chosen a new superintendent, even as we're building out a whole team across every part of the district and every part of our community and stakeholders. So I'm rolling up my sleeves for every bit of that. I'm excited and truly want our administration to be known for centering young people as the citywide mission across every institution, every sector of Boston, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. So thank you for being partners in that.
So I just want to quickly just reiterate, if we can slow down just a bit, which is presenting with us talking just for this interpreter's sake. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you, Mayor Wu. And now I'd like to briefly introduce members of our search committee as well as the school committee who are present to hear from you tonight. Dr. Pam Ettinger, the president of Bunker Hill Community College, Ms. Roxy Harvey, chair of the Boston Special Education Parent Advisory Council, Ms. Lorena Lupera, co-chair of the search committee, Mr. Michael O'Neill, vice chair of the Boston School Committee, Dr. Carlene Pignato, head of school at the Channing Elementary, Mr. Gene Roundtree, secondary school superintendent at Boston Public Schools, Mr. Jose Valenzuela, educator at Boston Latin Academy, and Ms. Rafaela Polanco Garcia, and member of the school committee. I would also like to take an opportunity to acknowledge the BPS Office of Student Support as our co-sponsor for tonight and for the outreach they did to ensure such a great turnout. And to thank all of you for participating and encouraging our networks to do the same. In total, we have had 237 individuals sign up to participate tonight. I'm going to invite Ms. Neva Coakley-Grice, the Interim Chief of Student Support, to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Co-Chair McNeil. The Division of Student Support in the Office of Youth Leadership is delighted to co-sponsor tonight's listening session. I want to acknowledge our BSAC and student government communities for sharing in this important work and ensuring a great turnout tonight. And to also thank students, the backbone of our community, for engaging in this important forum. Back to you, Marcus.
Awesome, thank you so much. And now I would like to also turn it over to Ms. Jessica Tang, the president of the Boston Teachers Union, to kick off our agenda.
Thanks so much, Marcus. This is Jessica Tang speaking. Let's turn our attention now to the task at hand and why everyone is here tonight. The search for Boston's next superintendent is one of the most important decisions of our school community. In fact, our entire community can make. So to do this work well, we need your input. And in addition to being able to provide public comment tonight, please note that comments in the chat will also be shared with our committee, as well as any written comment you like to send, which can be emailed to superintendentsearch@bostonpublicschools.org. So I believe that's going to be put in the chat as well. So if you know others who were not able to make it here tonight, there are definitely still other ways for them to share their input. We also have a community survey, which we encourage our BPS community to take, and this will also be added to the chat. But know that we will also email it to all participants and that you can forward that link as well. So our goal is to have a new district leader in place by the end of the school year. And these listening sessions are one of the first steps. Your feedback will be reviewed by the search committee, as well as the external search firm. And then we will use this input to draft an updated superintendent job description. After posting the position throughout April and into May, the search firm will then complete an initial vetting of background checks on candidates. Then the search committee will review applications and select candidates to interview in confidential executive sessions. Following interview rounds, the search committee will select finalists for public presentation. In early to mid-June, the school committee will announce finalists and a schedule for public interviews, which will be another great opportunity for our community, including our students, to weigh in on this critical decision. In late June, following public interviews for finalists, the school committee will vote on which candidate to offer the position of superintendent. That's a lot of information. So if you do want to get more information on each of the steps, they are posted along the way and can also be found on the Boston Public Schools website, which will also be put in the chat. But it's bostonpublicschools.org/SUPT-search. So at this time, I will turn the microphone back to Josine Wellington, who will moderate our public comment process. And when public comment is complete, we will wrap up with some reminders about additional ways for the public to be involved. So Josine Wellington, back to you.
Thank you. This is Josie speaking. We will now move to the public comment portion of our session. Please note that we have created 3 questions to guide our feedback collection, and the questions will be dropped in the chat. So just give me 1 second so I could drop it in for you guys. Can everyone see those questions? All right, cool. To participate, please use the raised hand feature and we will call on you to speak. You may find this feature on the bottom of your screen to the left of where you found the globe icon. Please be sure your name is correctly displayed and that your video is on. In order to hear from as many voices as possible, remarks are limited to 2 minutes or to 4 minutes if a speaker needs interpretation support. Note you will find a visual timer on a screen to aid you. When you speak, please state your name, your neighborhood, and your affiliation with Boston Public Schools. We would also ask that participants only speak once until all who wish to speak have had the opportunity to do so. Tonight's session has been dedicated to listening to the voices of Boston Public School students. We ask that adults take a step back and allow our students to be the main speakers for tonight. We also encourage younger students with the support of an adult to also share their thoughts and hopes for the next superintendent as well. We will take as many speakers as time allows. And if time permits, we will entertain repeat speakers and or adults from the audience. The session will end at 8 p.m. If any speakers would prefer to submit comments in writing, please email your comments to superintendentsearch@bostonpublicschools.org, and I will place that down in the chat right now. Or you can also include that in the chat. 1 second. Let me know if you guys can see that as well. You guys got it? All right. 2 notes about the chats before we move forward. If any staff from elected officials are joining us, please introduce yourself in the chat and kindly keep our session norms in mind. open, respectful, and focused. Should comments in the chat become distracting and disrespectful, a moderator will provide a warning. And in order to have a productive experience, if disrespectful comments continue, the moderator will remove the individual from the session and the individual comments redacted from the chat. So here we go. As a reminder, please speak slowly so our interpreters can translate all the information we have to share. And please introduce yourself, your neighborhood, and the affiliation with Boston Public Schools. And let us know if you are a student and from where. Or if you're an alum, educator, parent, or community partner, all voices are welcome. So, how do I transition? Sorry. So, sorry. How do we transition to who wants to raise their hand? Sorry.
Just go to participants and you should see the people with their hands raised. I guess I could call on the first person.
Yeah, sorry.
So the first person I see is Saja Jean Boyha. Sorry if I butchered your name.
Sorry, we're promoting Saja right now to panelists. Saja, I think are you able to talk? I don't know if you're still. Oh, perfect. Here we go.
Hi, Saja, whenever you're ready.
She is only 3 years old. Sorry. Sorry about that.
No worries. We can definitely that was a great moment. We can definitely go on to the next one. And I think the next speaker, Josiana, you can call on the next speaker.
Yeah, so the next speaker is Joshua Butler. That's the next person with their hand raised on my screen.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Joshua Butler. I am a 10th grader at Community Academy Science and Health in Fields Corner. And we want more career opportunities for teenagers in the special education programs. 2, we want more field trips. 3, we want more activities to play for outside. Thank you, Stella.
Thank you.
So now you can't talk anymore. That is all.
Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. The next person who had their hand up was Celis Suazo. Hopefully I said your name correctly.
Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Eli Suazo, pero voy a hablar por mi hijo Luis, que él es tímido, y entonces yo hablaré por él. Bueno, voy a hablar por él. Mi nombre es Luis Cruz, asisto a la escuela Joseph Herling, tengo 12 años, asisto al 6º grado y vivo en South Boston. Las tres cualidades que queremos para la superintendente sería la primera, que tenga una propuesta para ayudar a los niños con situaciones emocionales y especiales, como consejería y psicólogo en las escuelas. La segunda, que hable español para que pueda entender las necesidades de los padres que no hablen el idioma inglés. La tercera, que sea residente de Boston y esté empapada de las necesidades de las escuelas y los estudiantes en las escuelas públicas de Boston. Y mi pregunta para la superintendente, bueno, la pregunta de Luis, perdón, sería, ¿qué plan usted haría o tiene en mente para ayudar a mejorar los alimentos del desayuno y el almuerzo de los estudiantes de las escuelas públicas de Boston, ya que son muy desagradables y algunos padres no pueden costear los alimentos todos los días de la semana?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Our next person will be, sorry if I butcher your name, will be Nahima Journal.
This is not really my name. My real name is Skylar Nichols, but my name is Skylar Nichols. I am at the PA Shaw, and I live in Boston, Mattapan, Mass. And here is my speech. Good morning. Good evening, fellow BPS students. My name is Skylar, a 3rd grader at the PA Shaw School. What I want for the new leader of the Boston Public Schools is that they have experience with children. Furthermore, they should care about our school's history and actually care about things we are advocating for. My first question is, have you ever had experience with children? My second question is, have you ever had experience going through a hard time as a child? My final question is, how will you be kind to the schools and do the right things for the Boston Public Schools community? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. All right. Thank you, Skyla. So our next person will be, I don't want to butcher your name, is Jureli Guerrero or Luz Mancebo. You're next. Whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself. Okay.
Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Jureli Guerrero. I'm 9 years old. I attend the Hurley School. I'm in 3rd grade. I live in Roxbury. The characteristics I want for the new superintendent is be Hispanic or Spanish speaking, to be a former Boston Public School student, to understand and care about students. My questions are, number one, what would they do to better the breakfast and lunch menu? What would you do to stop bullying at school?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So our next person is going to be Kevin Williams. Whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself when you appear on the screen.
Hello, my name is Kevin. I'm a senior at the O'Brien. My neighborhood is Upham's Corner. And one of the things that I think that I want from the new incoming superintendent would be somebody who is more locally from the area, who really understands Boston's community issues on a fundamental level, and as someone who can relate more to our city and what it needs, instead of being someone maybe more from far out on the country, and being more, I guess, representative of our people, our communities, our schools. And that's about all that I want. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next person will be Madeline Lydovsky. Sorry if I butchered it.
Hello, my name is Madeline Lidowski. I live in Charlestown and I am a sixth grader at the Elliott School in the North End. And since I'm going to high school in a few years, I think whoever the next superintendent is should care about creating good high schools in all the parts of the city and finding fair ways to be able to get into the schools. To get into those schools and also the exempt schools. I think there should be better ways. There also should be ways to get to those schools from all parts of cities. Examples, buses and maybe trains near to go to those schools from all the different parts of the city. And thank you.
Thank you. Our next person is Nahemi Journal.
Hello, my name is not Nahemi Journal, but my name is Zachary. I am a third grader from the PA Shaw. In the new superintendent, I want to see if they have the experience to be a superintendent. In these schools, I particularly want to know what they do if kids are alligating something at the school. I believe that if kids were alligating for something at the school, the superintendent should listen to them. A question I would want to ask them: what are you do if you know about being a parent? I think the new superintendent should be a parent themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next person is Josh Carmona.
Hi, my name is Josh Bernabel, and I am 10 years old, and I live in Jamaica Plain, and I go to the Curly School. I want the new person to have humanity and to be vocation and to speak other languages. My question is, I wonder what's her goal for the year to Boston Public Schools. And thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Our Our next person is Alexander Bobadia.
Hello, my name is Alexander Bobadia. I go to Bigelow Middle School. I'm 12 years old and I live in Hyde Park. The three important qualities I want in the Boston Public Schools are that I want more activities in some Boston schools. I want teachers that speak one or more language so that they can teach kids how to speak that language. And my last idea is I want teachers to help kids that are special. And that's about it. Thank you for listening to me.
All right, so the next person is Iris Diaz.
Hi, my name is Jansel Cosmos Diaz. My age is 11. Oh. Okay, there you go. My name is Jansel J. Cosmos Diaz. My age is 11 years old. The school that I go to is Josiah Quincy Upper School. My grade is 6th grade. I live in the South End. Three characteristics. I want that the superintendent speaks bilingual. Number 2, that she or he has experience in public schools if they have studied or have children in public schools. Number 3, be fair with the decisions she or he makes. My questions. Number 1, how the superintendent can help us so that public schools have food of better nutritional quality. Number 2, that the superintendent has schedules visits on his or her agenda to visit the schools on a personal basis. That's all. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much. Before we continue, I just want to say thank you for participating and just voicing and advocating for yourself. It's very beautiful to see. The next person is going to be Albani, and whenever you're ready, you could unmute yourself. Okay, it seems like Albani is not in the Zoom anymore. So I'll go into Azaria Harley Long. Whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, my name is Azariah Harley Long. I am in 6th grade. Orchard Guidance. My school is Orchard Guidance, K through 8 school. And the characteristics I want in a superintendent is that they listen to the students and ask them what they need or want. I would also like a superintendent who adds more activities for the students to do, because currently I have 3 activities that I do each week. One is a running club that I go to. Another one is outdoor club. And that's basically like hiking, swimming, a lot of stuff outdoors. And the third one is a book club. So I think that it would be beneficial that the superintendent would add like more activities for kids to do, like soccer, baseball, more recess for the sixth graders, because as a personal sixth grader, when they drop the mask mandates, I wouldn't be outside at all for a school day. And that is really upset to hear. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. The next person will be, sorry. The next person is going to be Angel Modelser. Sorry.
Sorry, my name is Angel Modelser here. I'm 11 grade at Tech Boston. I want the next superintendents to be able to protect kids more, because there were shooting at my school, like people were injured. So I want like the next superintendent will be able to help more with that. And then the second one is that I want the next superintendent will be careful who they hire, the teachers, because some teachers not doing what they're supposed to do. So I want them to be careful what they hire. So thank you for listening. And last one. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the advocacy work. The next person is Jasmine Suelo Soto. Whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself. In the chat. Never mind. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Cuello Soto. I go to the Blackstone and I'm in 5th grade. I want to tell you what I think is important for the next superintendent to understand. The superintendent before this one promised the Blackstone $5 million for walls and doors to keep us safe. The Shackle School was promised that they would get more grades. Those are two promises were broken by the superintendent that is leaving. The new superintendent should keep the promises that were made to the students before they had a job. Instead of budget cuts, the next superintendent should give more money for schools so teachers can lose their job and schools don't have to close. And also, I would like to add that I think there should be more outside stuff, like more like, because in my school, there's no like after school clubs that we can join. It's only like junior coaches. And I think we should have some clubs for the Black Club. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next person is gonna be Nesaj Ware. Whenever you're ready, you could unmute yourself.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We can hear you.
Okay. Hello, I'm Nesaj Ware, a senior at the John D. O'Brien School of Mathematics and Science. I just wanted to say first that the superintendent needs to be committed to ensuring opportunities are fairly and equally accessible to all BPS students. And this means working with schools to design methods for some type of mass communication. I'm the founder and instructor of Girls in Real Life Sanctuary, a mentorship program for young Black and Brown women, ages 12 to 16. And honestly, it saddens me when my mentees are so oblivious to the many academic and enrichment opportunities I had because I went to one of the 3 exam schools. I had to travel from my school to the Young Achiever Science and Pilot Math School, where I attended elementary school, just to help one of my mentees with the Red Sox scholarship application because she could not receive assistance from a teacher at her school, which is a problem. I also think that the superintendent needs to be willing to be pushed by youth voice and student innovations. Not only should they be including student voice, but they should be amplifying it in every conversation about Boston Public School students. It is imperative that they be progressive because unfortunately, with the current climate of our district, they cannot just assume this position and maintain the status quo. They must be willing to step into this position and be ready to rebuild the district in its entirety because reform is very necessary.
I'm sorry to interrupt your amazing point. I just want to, if you could slow down your amazing point, just a few minutes so everybody can capture that. Thank you
of
so
course,
much.
no problem. I can repeat like the last part of what I just said. I just said that it's imperative that the new superintendent be progressive because unfortunately with the current climate of our district, they cannot just assume this position and maintain the status quo. They must be willing to step into this position and be ready to rebuild the district in its entirety, as reform is very necessary in our district. And lastly, they must be willing to work with their teachers throughout the entire Boston Public School District to make sure that transparency and communication with families and students is key. Too often, I find that teachers are provoking and antagonizing students, and students are being blamed for teachers' actions, and that is not okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next person is Jose Cordero.
Hello. So my name is Crystal. I'm in 5th grade in the Blackstone Innovation School, and I'm in 5th grade. And here's my speech. My name is Crystal Cordero. I attend Blackstone School and live in the South End. What I would like to see in the new superintendent is someone from Boston to be able to take notice of students' voices and care about the situation that is happening in the school. For example, bullying. A question I would like to ask the new superintendent, it is possible to extend time when we eat our lunches. It isn't seen enough. And also, would you make a plan to prevent bullying at our schools? Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Superintendent. That's all I have.
Thank you. Our next person is Keisha Nunez.
Good night. Thank you for letting me speak. My name is Keisha Marie Nunez Medina. I go to the Joseph Hurley School and I live in Dorchester. I would like to see a new superintendent to have passion and love for education, to be bilingual or multilingual, someone who cares about special needs education. The question is, I would like to ask a new superintendent, will you bring new programs to teach better the students at Boston Public Schools? What is the plan to provide better social emotional support for the students who are going through difficult times, as for an example, being homeless, going through domestic violence, and etc.? Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Next we have Loemi.
Hello?
Hi, my name is Loemi. I go to the Curly School and I am 8 years old and I live in Jamaica Plain. And I want the person to have a vocation and a helping hand to immigrants. I want question, what strategies are you going to use to solve some to the school problem? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. Next we have Geraldine Banos.
Hi, good evening. My name is Geraldine Banyas. I study at the Blackstone School. My requirements for this new superintendent is that she or he will have a good person who is more involved in knowing the needs of my school. My question is for the new superintendent is what plan does she or he have to improve more healthy because they are cold vegetables every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next person is Isel Savinan.
There I am. Hi, my name is Izel, and this is my sister Isabella and my brother Eden. We live in South Boston, and we go to the Blackstone. We want our next superintendent to pay attention to us. We want more art, music, and drama classes. It would be nice if they had gone to BPS themselves to see the so they know the struggles we face.
And have different types of science classes and dance classes and schools like kids my age.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Also, shout out to all the elementary school students doing this tonight. Like, it's very late in elementary school. I went to bed at this time, so I commend you all for this. The next person is Stella Diase.
Hi. Well, mostly since I'm using my mom's phone, my real name is Isaac Felix Agbe. I would like to see for the next superintendent. I would feel like having like monthly like additions for like the students to like vote on would be like a great addition because like most students are like sometimes tired of like old things like and annoying other things that like sometimes we won't understand. So we might want to change it, but like there'll be no way for like us to vote on it. So like that would be a great addition. And another addition would be like social classes, like where we could like talk about like how others are feeling at times, like and how we could agree on like making us feel better at that time. That's all.
Thank you so much. Our next person is gonna be Aurelio. Sorry, Mora. Whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself.
Boa tarde. Intérprete? Boa tarde a todos e obrigada pela oportunidade. A mim também representa Aurélio, que é criança com muita disabilidade. Ela frequenta a escola de Blackstone e está na West Roxbury. Aurélio gosta de ter subtenente humilde, simpático, que atende todos como igual, sem discriminação, e que conhece a realidade e necessidades de escolas públicas de Boston para melhor resolver. Aurélio gosta de saber qual que é o plano de subtenente para melhorar qualidade de ensino, segurança e estabilidade para eles e colegas, ou seja, para tudo crianças com multidisabilidade. Obrigado. Aurélio já está a dormir, para morrer tive dia muito duro hoje.
Okay, thank you. I think there was like a mess up on the translation. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that was just me. But the next person is gonna be Isabella Pedrosa Munoz. Whenever you're ready, you could unmute yourself.
Hi, I'm Isabella Pedrosa Munoz. I'm a 10th grader at O'Brien High School, and I live in Mattapan. So, I would like the superintendent that represents the students demographically in Boston Public Schools, and someone that will help students and families around the city. My two questions are: how will you, as a superintendent, combat equity in Boston Public Schools, specifically with language barriers and substitute teachers? And what is the superintendent going to do to expand languages that are offered in Boston Public Schools? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isabella. Our next person is gonna be Emily Pedrosa. Whenever you're ready.
Hi, so my name is actually Valentina Pedrosa Munoz. I attended O'Brien, graduated in 2018, and I'm currently attending a university also in Massachusetts, and I graduated in 2022. As someone who had like the ability to attend one of the what's it called? I forgot. What are they called? OB, what's it called? Exam schools in Boston. And also then going on to attend 4 years at a institution in Massachusetts, I think I was able to see a lot of the like inequalities that we as students didn't understand till we like got older. And I think it's important that the superintendent, it might not have a lot to do with the superintendent, but I think it's important to know how like a lot of these inequities are because of the fact that Massachusetts in general provides funding to these Boston public schools through like the property taxes, and a lot of universities in Boston do not pay their property taxes because a lot of them are qualified as nonprofits, which then in turn like has Boston lose a lot of like property tax value that could be going towards a budget of Boston public schools. So I think that is important to note. And besides that, now going back to the point of like a superintendent that could be beneficial to the community, I am speaking on behalf as a graduate, as a Boston Public School student who has 2 younger sisters who still attend Boston Public Schools, specifically John D. O'Brien. I would appreciate a superintendent, said by my sister before, like who is a part of like the demographic of the student population of Boston Public Schools, and also a superintendent who will like provide, I would say, participation measures or some type of measures specifically to the tenured teachers at Boston Public Schools, because as a student who like went to these Boston Public Schools and saw these tenured teachers not provide the correct education, sit down and not like sit down and give you busy work the entire time. You had to teach yourself. Like that was unacceptable, and that would not happen anywhere else if these teachers were like, if they weren't tenured, because they were tenured, they were able to like relax and not provide the correct education to the student. And I think that is very messed up on the part of, as like on a personal, just like very on a personal level. Sorry, I had to regain my thoughts because I got a little overwhelmed. But yeah, so a superintendent who makes sure that these teachers who are tenured, specifically who are tenured, are like keeping track and are on top of them, because it's just like messed up. Also, again, I think a lot of people are saying like spoke various languages, very progressive, and one who is just more understanding. Yes, that's it.
Thank you so much. That was very powerful. The next person is going to be Ajayne Igaro. Whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself. Ajayne, I was calling her. Yeah. Whenever you're ready, you could begin. I'm not sure if she's having technical difficulties. Are you able to unmute yourself?
We can come back to her, Diana. Maybe we definitely come back.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't hear you. Try unmuting it one more time. Okay, we'll go to the next person and we'll come back to Ajayne. The next person is gonna be Donizlia Martinez. Sorry, Donilza Martinez, yeah.
¿Se escucha? Sí, ok.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Dachar y voy a la escuela Blackstone y vivo en South End. Características que quiero ver en el nuevo superintendente son que hable más de un idioma, que sea involucrado con la comunidad, respete las culturas de cada estudiante. Mi pregunta sería, ¿qué usted ofrecería para mejorar los programas para los estudiantes aprendices del idioma inglés? Muchas gracias.
Did the sound cut off?
No, she concluded her statement.
Oh, I am so sorry. Thank you so much for that. The next person is going to be Ajayne.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You're good.
Okay, hello. My name is Ajayne Igaro. I'm the president of the Boston Student Advisory Council and a senior at Boston Latin Academy. Personally, from a superintendent, I would like to see someone that went to Boston Public Schools, someone that is progressive, someone that wants to see children know all of their options and what they can do once they get their diploma. Like I see a lot of like MCAS in college being shoved down people's throats. I've seen vocational programs like Madison be defunded when there's a lot of money and opportunity in that. Not everyone learns the same way. So I feel like the superintendent should be committed to changing the curriculum or providing more opportunities for people to do things that aren't just like English and science and then going to a 4-year university right after. People need to know all of their options. As well as like everybody getting the same opportunities as people that go to exam schools, which has been said time and time again. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Our next person will be Suji Scannell.
Y lo aquí, ya. Puedes hablar ahí. Hello.
My name is Zoe Garcia. I attend to the Hurley School. I live in Rosendale. I'm 9 years old. I would like to see in a new superintendent to be bilingual and to have the passion for their work and to have empathy, to have studied in Boston Public Schools and to be born in Boston. My question will be, as we all agree, school lunches are miserable. Would you change the school lunches options and give us more time to be able to eat our lunches? And what plans do you have to make our school better and more activities? And to have special teachers for kids in need. And the last thing is what I would like to, the also thing that I'd like to see in the superintendent is to have an ice cream party for the whole school. Well, public schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next person is Woodnaldi Austin.
Hello, my name is Natalie, and I go to Margaret Munoz, the first bilingual school in Jamaica Plain. And I feel like most schools, like the new ones, should have more opportunities like sports, so they don't share with other schools. And I feel like more teachers they should have more patience with the kids, because sometimes they lose their patience really easily and they yell in your face, and then they expect you not to react. And I really don't like that, because the student will get in trouble for that. And also, I feel like many schools, like the new ones, should have more opportunities, because I take dual enrollment like college classes right now. And some kids want to do it, but they don't have support. They don't know what they want to do, because what they want to do, they don't have it. Like they want to do mechanics, they want to do something for teaching, like with little kids, and they don't have that opportunity. So I feel like they should have more opportunity as they want. Instead of music and instead of art, they should have more stuff. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Our next person is Nahemi Journal.
My name is Shakur and I'm 9 years old. I go to the PH Elementary School. I have a couple of questions I would like to ask the person who wants to be our new superintendent. I you going to support students who are struggling? Also, I believe they need to make decisions that are good for the students in the school. This means they need to think about students first. My family is Haitian, and I believe it is important that the new superintendents listen to the families who speak many languages, not just English. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Our next person is Rain Valentine.
Hello, my name is Rain Valentine. I'm in the 5th grade and I reside in East Boston. Some qualities that I think the superintendent should have are that they should be local. I agree with the other people who have spoken. They should know the needs of the community they are serving. They should be open-minded, like no discriminatory or disrespectful people, especially considering all the different demographics we have in Massachusetts. Like that they are active members of the community, meaning they pay regular visits to the schools, send out regular updates, etc. Transparency, like honesty, making sure that what they're saying is truthful and they're not being dishonest to the community. A question that I would have for them is what they plan to do about bullying, mental health, like crises amongst the students, and funding for schools and extracurricular programs. How they can partner with the schools are that they can ensure that there are resources in place to assist those who are socially or economically disadvantaged. Programs and resources should be accessible to everyone and anyone and everyone, regardless of race, sex, just gender identity, sexuality, abilities, religion, etc. Therapy should be easily accessible, discounted, or free of cost, especially to those in like the upper grades, because that is like the demographic that has like the most difficult time with mental health, and from what I've seen. Also making sure that there are like performing arts programs, sports clubs, basic life skill classes like how to file taxes, as well as activism groups available in every neighborhood. And also something that I really think is important is caps on homework. Teachers assign homework in different quantities, like as they feel like it, and there should be like an equal amount of homework every week in reasonable amounts, because students should really not have to stay up until 8 p.m. to midnight cramming and writing essays just because their teachers told them to. Also up to code parks, playgrounds, and other outside areas, and student councils at every school, because students' voices matter. That's all I have to say, sorry.
No worries, thank you, that was amazing. Our next person will be Arlene Lung.
Hello, can you all hear me? My opinion for the next superintendent is for the next superintendent to be mindful of all the special needs with their ADLs and making sure all restrooms in all schools are accessible. Like for example, I go to Madison Park Technical Vocational High School. There's only one restroom that's accessible. I want it to be more than one restroom, women's restroom accessible. Would that be a possibility? Can you all hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Would that be a possibility?
Yes, our next superintendent will be considerate of all of what we're talking about.
Can you guys hire a superintendent that's a women that can work for like more than 3 years, please? I would love that, because I've been here like almost like 12 years in Boston Public Schools. It's been like I've been seeing like 6 different superintendents in the position. Did you guys hear me?
Yes, Arlene. We will raise your suggestions with the superintendent, your team, and also the superintendent search committee members will be taking note.
And what about the restrooms? of my school. My school is Madison Park.
Yes, that will be taking a note of in the notes.
There's only one restroom that's accessible. I want it to be more than one women's restroom, wheelchair accessible for all the special needs students and autism students.
We got it. We heard you.
Yes. All right, that's all my questions.
All right, thank you. So our next person will be Martin Chan.
Hi, my name is Martin Chan, and I'm a 9th grader from Josiah Quincy Upper School.
Nice to meet you, Martin. I think you muted yourself.
That's it I want to say. Thank you.
Okay. Our next person will be Roy Karp.
My name is Roy Cole.
No.
What?
It's
No.
Lucy
It's
Carr.
Roy Cole.
So what's your real name? You tell me your name. Say your real name.
Louisa Culp. I'm named after Louisa May Alcott.
Where do you live? What neighborhood do you live in? You live in?
No.
Hi.
Where do you live? No, which neighborhood?
Massachusetts, America, USA.
What school do you attend? What's your neighborhood, honey? Starts with an R.
Wasdale.
And what school do you go to? Yeah,
Yeah.
she's signing what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
And what school do you go to, honey? Anderson.
What's the name of your school? What's the name of your school?
Understand inclusion.
Okay, what do you want to say to the new superintendent? What do you want the new superintendent to do?
The new superintendent is not here.
I know, but if you could, if they were here, what would you say to him or her? What would you think about inclusion schools?
Hey, looking at it this way. No,
Yep.
I mean this way. Not
Okay,
this
focus on your comments for a second. This is the group who's going to pick the new superintendent. So say, what do you want to say about the Henderson School?
Well, I think it should be
There should be more what?
I think it should be, I think the superintendent might be
Sam, no, Sam's your principal. Can you say, what do you think about the Henderson? Should there be more inclusion schools?
more inclusion.
And you want a superintendent who cares about that? Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
We only done that.
What do you think?
I done
Say it's time for my bedtime.
just for my bedtime. Wait. You left the meeting.
Thank you. So our next person is Nahemi Journal.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Karina. I'm a third grader at the PA Shaw. What I want to see in in the new superintendent is they should help advocated for this students of Boston. They should help students get what they need to have an excellent education. The superintendent, the new superintendent needs to believe in listening to students' voice. Sometimes something I want I would want to ask someone someone who wants to be the new superintendent is how will you get the things we need for our school, like better buildings where we could expand our school, where we working on expanding our school, and having new buildings would be very helpful.
Thank you so much. Right now we only have 2 raised hands. But before I call the next person, again, would like to thank every young person who entered today's Zoom call and advocated for themselves and for their voices. Is very much appreciated and was very beautiful to see. The next person is gonna be Isel Savigno. Sorry. Whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself. It's okay. So I think Isel raised his hand by accident. So the next person that just put their hand up is Anthony Dominguez. And I'm not sure if Nahimi Journal just went, but we're gonna take Anthony Dominguez and then Nahimi Journal.
So, in camera. Hurry up, Anthony.
My name is Anthony Dominguez, and I go to Ultra Gardens K-8 pilot schools. I live in the South End of Massachusetts. My requirements for the new superintendent who will take over, I would like to see are someone to be involved not just in the school but also with the communities, to be familiar with the needs in BPS, respect students' opinions, because we are the ones who really know what our school needs. Be willing to work with parents, teachers, and students to make BPS one of the best national-wide schools. Someone who respects our cultures, backgrounds, and languages. My questions for the new superintendent will be, what can you offer to the students who have different cultures, to add that as one of the curriculums in BPS? Bullying is a major problem in the nation and also in BPS. I know this for a fact because I have experienced bullying. I would like to know what plans and strategies will you bring to fight and get a solution about bullying at BPS. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anthony. That was beautiful. All right, so the last hand that we have up is Nahimi Journal. Again, if you want to talk, you could definitely put your hands up. It's very much appreciated. Hi.
Hi, my name is Nahemi. I'm 9 years old.
and I go to the P.A. Shaw Elementary School, and I'm in 3rd grade. I want to see someone who is respectful and grateful to have students like me in their schools. I also want them to be, oh, I also want to see a person who has a great personality. What I mean by that is I want them to be a leader who stands up and gets kids what they actually deserve. I want to ask them, when you had a problem at your school as a kid, did you advocate? Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we have 4 more hands up. Again, very glad for the advocacy. The next person is going to be Katherine Martin.
Empieza, mamá. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Habla, mamá.
Mi nombre es Ajayne Pérez. Tengo 6 años. Estoy en el grado K2.
Habla más fuerte, mamá. Empieza de nuevo. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Ajayne Pérez. Tengo 6 años. Estoy en el grado
K2.
K2. Estoy en la escuela Blackstone.
Ahora quiero que la superintendente
Quiero que la superintendente sea respetuosa,
solidaria
solidaria
y empática.
y empática.
Mi pregunta es
Mi pregunta es
si tienen
si
algún plan
para cambiar el lunch
de la escuela
por
algo más agradable y saludable.
y saludable.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you for that. Please, everyone remember to switch over to interpretation if you need it. Thank you.
All right, that was beautiful. The next person is going to be Katherine Marmanio. Sorry.
My name is Kaylee. I'm a 4th grader from Rosendale. Most important qualifications the next superintendent should have are be a former BPS student and or have kids attend BPS. They also should have personal experiences with struggle, like most inner city students experience. Also, they should utilize the budget in essential educational subjects like science, history, language, writing, and math. Best interest for us kids, the future. Lastly, not afraid to tell the truth. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. The next person is Evencia St. Hilaire.
Hello, can you guys hear us?
Yes, we can.
Hi, my name is Nai. I am a charter school student. I am looking for a superintendent to look like me, who is from Boston, who knows Boston, and not someone who is here for a politic position. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next person is going to be Rain Valentine.
So my name's Rain. I was on here earlier. Sorry for not touching on this earlier, but I put this in the chat, and I think it's like of utmost importance to like keep the building like up to code, make sure that like there's nothing dangerous or like screws loose in the school, you know, making sure that it's like not like incredibly like visually distressing, I guess, because a lot of the times like the schools haven't been repainted in like 10 years, and so like there's chip paint on the wall, or it's like not like a fun place to like be in a lot of the times. And also having sanitary products in every bathroom, because like for people who are gender non-conforming or non-binary and use for instance, if they're assigned female at birth but they feel more comfortable using the men's bathroom, like every bathroom should have some form of sanitary products, and they should be easily accessible. Like you shouldn't have to like go all the way across the school to the nurse's office just to get a tampon or a pad. And also gender neutral bathrooms.
Thank you so much. I agree with everyone. The next person is going to be Madeline Lydovsky. Whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, my name is Madeline Lidowsky. I already spoke earlier this night, but something that someone said actually made me want to talk about this. So recently in my class, when a few people were talking, we had to shut down all our work and couldn't continue working because the teacher said we weren't following the rules. And what we were doing in class was very important because we were doing MCAS prep. So something that I is important for me is that the next superintendent will make sure that if there's like kids that have like either problems like always talking or just kind of helping teachers out more when they when there's students that are misbehaving, so the other students can get their rightful education. Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much. Was that the conclusion? Yeah. Thank you. The next person is going to be Tanya Nixon Silberg.
Unmute.
Hi, my name is Mila. You got my name wrong.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
David, no.
Well, I am really happy to share, and I am really excited. So I want to tell the difference between my old school and my school I'm in now. And okay, so at my old school, we had chocolate milk, which was good. And at my new school, we don't have chocolate milk. I just wanted to mention that. I really want chocolate milk. So just to say that. And we didn't have social emotional learning. It's kind of a thing for us to connect with our friends and talk about things we need to talk about, and we didn't have that at my old school. And well,
Do you think that it should be at every school?
Yeah, I think it should be at every school.
Why?
Because it really gives you a chance to express yourself and get to know your friends.
Mm-hmm. And so do you think that the new superintendent should know this stuff?
Yeah,
Why do you think they should know?
because it's good to know like a lot about the kids at the school and how the schools are different from each other, which is good to know how they're different, just make them better. And well, this is for my friends.
It's for your friends.
Yeah. They're
Okay.
gonna probably hear this.
Maybe. You want to say thank you?
Thank you for letting me speak.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Good job, baby.
Thank you so much, Marla. Honestly, I miss the chocolate milk too. Like they just disappeared one day and they never came back. And I'm just like, okay. The next person is gonna be Josh from Butler.
Hey, like what these people said reminded me to made me speak again. I just want I just want to add I just want the people to add to the school to have a beauty pageant for the girls to make them look pretty. Also, they should serve some fancy food like hash browns, omelets, and chocolate syrup on pancakes. And I think I want them to have a dance party at I want them to have a dance party at high schoolers and I at schools, and I want them to have strawberry milk for all Boston public schools. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joshua. Next person is gonna be Naomi Journal. All right, so it doesn't seem like Naomi's here anymore. The last hand that we have right now is Isel Savion. Sorry. All right, it seems like he put his hand up again by accident. Okay, one second.
No worries. I'm gonna a quick jump in just to let everyone know that we have about 20 minutes left in the public comment, which means we can hear from about 9 to 10 more speakers. We will do our best to get as many hands as we can in the time remaining. However, please note that if you prefer, you can still submit your comments in writing to superintendentsearch@bostonpublicschools.org. Once again, we will take as many speakers as time allows. Let's see, we have one hand raised right now.
All right, Vilma, whenever you're ready, you can unmute yourself. You're next.
Buenas noches. Yo estoy hablando por mi niño. Él atiende a la escuela de la Garner y escuchando las peticiones que tienen, quería ver si es posible que la superintendente esté familiarizada con las escuelas individualmente para que ella pueda saber las necesidades que hay en diferentes escuelas. Sabemos que tenemos muchos challenges, pero ellos están capacitados para escuchar y poner en práctica las cosas que ellos tienen para resolver los problemas de las escuelas. Otra cosa muy importante que tomen en cuenta el respeto de los maestros para los niños. Hay muchos niños que tienen deshabilidades que no han sido diagnosticadas. Entonces, si se pudiera como que entrenar a los maestros para que no crean o marquen a los niños que son niños mal portados. Muchas veces los niños tienen problemas que no se sabe todavía y los medicamentos también a veces no trabajan bien para los niños. Que ella fuera una persona que tuviera niños en la escuela pública para que ella supiera de primera mano las necesidades que hay y pues quiera que no conseguir el apoyo de los maestros y de los padres para que todas las escuelas progresen y nuestros niños tengan un buen aprendizaje. Gracias.
Thank you so much. I definitely agree on that point. The next person is going to be Naomi Journal.
I already went, but what I was trying to say is I do agree with Joshua Butler, I think. And we actually do need a beauty pageant, and we actually do want new milk because the milk we drink is just not enough for us. Because I don't like milk because I'm kind of lactose intolerant. So yeah, I agree with him.
I second the beauty pageant. Are there any more people who would like to put their hands up? There's another Naomi Journal, but I'm not sure if she just went.
I agree with my best friend Nahemi because we do need we need chocolate milk because I don't really like white milk sometimes, and we need a beauty pageant because me and my friend always want to be looking good, and yeah, so that's why I agree with my best friend.
Could even agree with more. Are there any more hands? Love the active participation. On the beauty pageant part, I'm pretty sure if I grew up with a beauty pageant, my style would be so much more better than it is now. So I definitely agree with that.
I know I already said this before, but again, I want to thank everyone who came and spoke tonight. Like, y'all just had school today. Y'all probably had homework, like some of y'all said. Y'all have y'all after school programs, your jobs, everything that y'all are juggling for the rest of the school year. I commend everyone who came tonight, everyone who wrote a speech, everyone. And y'all are amazing. We will be taking in your suggestions. Notes are being taken. This is being recorded. And again, y'all did an amazing job. All y'all testimonies were beautiful. And I third the beauty pageant. I would join it too.
Oh yeah. I know we had Naysaj Ware. She was one of our BPS students who's a part of the Miss Teen Massachusetts. So shout out to her for representing Massachusetts. Just had to give a little shout out. Follow her on Instagram. But yeah, the beauty pageant right there.
All right. Is there anyone who has spoken or was cut off during the session who would like to speak again or continue from their point, or anybody who would like to further comment during this time? All right, perfect. Those are all of our speakers. Ms. Tang and Mr. Mcneil, I'll turn the microphone over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian. I think just to recap really what we've all heard over the last 2 hours, again, I think echoing really what everyone has said, powerful words, especially from, younger people in elementary school. I think that's definitely just a testament to how, again, young people are again the future, and how the next superintendent can really, uplift student voice like that. So I definitely encourage that a lot more. Yeah, and I think just passing over to Jessica to see if she has any thoughts.
Sure. So one, I definitely want to shout out Josiana and Wellington. Really, really fantastic job facilitating. It's not easy, especially to do over Zoom. So kudos to you both. And totally agree with Marcus. I think tonight was extremely illuminating. I'm incredibly impressed by the candor and insight and thoughtfulness by students as young as 3 and on up. And it was a really good, I think, reminder for all the adults who work in education of, why we do what we do and why this decision is so important, and how much more we can do in terms of really hearing from youth voices. And so I did take notes as usual, and I can share some of the highlights and common themes that I definitely heard tonight. So one was definitely around looking for a superintendent who knows the school's history. It was how I think Skylar said it, and knows BPS is from Boston. That was definitely a theme. Another theme was around either being Spanish speaking or bilingual. Another theme I heard was having experience either as a former BPS student themselves or having students in BPS or having experience in public schools. And so I think those were some common themes too. Another big one was around stopping bullying, and we definitely heard that in previous forums as well. So I think that's got to be an issue that the new superintendent is going to really tackle and think more about how we can do better in BPS. Definitely heard a common theme around activities and extracurriculars, whether that be teams or clubs or sports teams, field trips too. I'll throw that in there as well. Special education did come up quite often too, and I thought that was really great that students are really thinking about how to support special education students. And then let's see, counselors in schools, mental health, social wellness, having free therapy and more accessibility was another big theme I saw. And then breakfast and lunch. And every forum that I've ever done with students, this is definitely an issue. And I'm going to throw in chocolate milk in this one. I did not know that chocolate milk was not being served after a certain grade, so I'll have to look into that myself. Transparency, honesty was a characteristic that came up for a new superintendent. What I really liked too was one of the ideas of just, I think, again, as adults, oftentimes we forget just to listen to students and ask what they need and want. And one of the students, definitely reminded us that that's something we've got to do regularly and systematize it. So it's not a one-off situation like this, but is regularly happening. I heard not wanting busy work and needing engaging curriculum that's relevant, and about restrooms a couple times too, whether it's ADA accessible or having sanitary products or being inclusive. So those were some of the big themes I heard tonight, and I think it definitely gave us a lot to think about. Marcus, do you have some more insights or thoughts, or any one of the other members of the committee? Our co-chairs, Lorena or Pam?
Jessica, thank you for the recap. I think you're right on, and you took great notes, and because those are exactly the things that I've heard. And now that we've had 3 of these, I am seeing the cohesion of themes that are coming through all 3, and then also the comments that's been coming in via the website and via the email address. I am particularly touched tonight by how much our students are valuing activities outside the classroom, particularly having time to play, having space to play. And I didn't think about that until today, because this is from their point of view, and I thought that was that was very clear, and I'm glad I heard that. And the other one is around safety. So much concern, right, around being safe, not being bullied. And one young lady tonight talked about the need for social emotional learning. That pleasantly surprised me, that our students have such great awareness of what works, right? What they want to be able to manage their lives. So I'm glad that I had a chance to hear that tonight.
Great. And Roxy and Josiana.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to all the students that came out to speak. It was really great to hear everyone. Some of the things that I thought were really insightful were even a lot of the students thinking about those who have had opportunities, where they've said very loudly, you know, my school may have had this, but I noticed some others don't have these opportunities. That is a big thing. That's amazing, to if you have a resource and you have opportunities, and to realize that others don't, and that we need to make sure that a superintendent can understand that concept and really be looking out for all of our students. So I thought that was very insightful to hear from many of the students. And bullying really stood out strongly for me tonight, because I've heard it in many spaces about all the bullying occurring. And, you know, these are really important issues. And I think that a lot of the centered notes I wrote down was some of the questions were, what is your plan? How are you going to do? I think those type of questions were focusing, really look for someone who has a plan and is thought very intensely about some things they can do here in Boston. Because when I hear someone say they should understand multilingual learners, they should, you know, be able to do this and be from Boston, what I really hear is connections, right? Because and a lot of people are really saying in different ways, they have to be committed to Boston and our students and this city. So I think that is fantastic that was such a strong point tonight. So I don't want to take any more time away from you guys, but thank you so much. This was really a wonderful learning point.
Absolutely agree. And I think I forgot to mention that one in the notes too. I think I skipped over that one by accident, but you know, the student who said, just know my school's history, you know, no BPS. Sorry. Why don't we go to Josiana and Lorena and Mr. O'Neill?
I think the 3 common themes kind of surrounded comprehension, communication, and transparency. And I think everyone who spoke today was able to demonstrate those 3 core values while they were giving their speeches. I think it was very beautiful to see that there was so many young people in the call and just vocalizing and advocating for themselves, because I know if I didn't have my voice at such a young age, I don't know. It's just so beautiful to see. It's also, I think it's very crucial that the next superintendent does watch over all of these forums and sees that the kids are watching and that people pay attention, especially the younger kids, because I feel like a lot of times elementary school students are often overlooked because their voices aren't present in the conversation. So seeing so many kids truly come out today, and it's literally about to be 8 o'clock. 7, 6, 10-year-old me would not even be ignorant about the situation. So like, honestly, kudos to everyone who showed up, spoke their truth. It was honestly very beautiful, very amazing. And it just proves to adults again that the youth is smart and the youth is capable. And I'm very glad to see it. Thank you.
Thank you. Lorena and then Michael.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And thank you to everyone who really participated and lended their voice to the conversation. I always appreciate hearing from those who are receiving the services, right? Those who are really living the experience every single day. So to hear from such a variety of students in terms of their grades, of school representation, of all of it was incredible. Just a lot of appreciation for the students and the families who joined us today. I think in addition to the various themes that were already raised, and Jessica, like hats off to you that you have all of those notes while holding a baby in your arm. Amazing. So thank you for your tremendous effort there. I think the other piece that came clear to me was a superintendent that's also investing in the adults that are in the classrooms with our children, because those are the adults that are facing our children and families every single day. And so just thinking through how whatever we do with the adults is also what's going to be translated out to our students. So that was another clear theme for me. But just incredibly grateful. Thank you so much to our co-hosts, and thank you to our facilitators, because y'all are amazing. We should just have you facilitate every listening session. Thank you.
Thank you. And we just have 3 more minutes. So maybe just a minute from Mr. O'Neill, Mr. Roundtree, and then Marcus gets the last word. But I did forget to say something about the homework. That did come up more than once too. So that's something we need to think about as well.
Thank you, President Tang, and thank you for the work that you did. And I echo your comments about the excellent notes you took while holding your child. So thank you for that. I am awestruck by the participation of our students tonight from all different grades. All of you are part of the mosaic that, or the tapestry, the beautiful tapestry that is the Boston Public Schools together. Your voice today was heard so loud and clear, and how thoughtful all of you were about what qualities and characteristics you're looking for in a superintendent and what questions you want answered. And I promise that when I'm doing public interviews of candidates at the end as a school committee member, I will be asking some of the questions that you raised today, and I will try to give voice to the individuals that raised them. All of the comments and themes have been addressed by my fellow search committee members tonight. The only one that I particularly want to call out, because I heard it so loud and clear, and Roxy Harvey, Mrs. Harvey mentioned it as well, which was about bullying and the impact to students on that. And thank you for giving firsthand experience about that. I heard it loud and clear. And as other colleagues said, I think it was Ms. Harvey who said it, when you want us to ask, what is your plan for? And so I'm going to make sure to ask those questions to give voice to what you raised today. But thank you. You inspired me beyond belief by your contribution tonight. And thank you particularly, not only to our co-hosts, but to the 2 facilitators. Like Ms. LaPera just said, you were outstanding tonight, and would love to have you do others as well. Thank you.
100%. Mr. Roundtree, got like 30 seconds.
Yeah, so I just want to again thank the students. Always really enjoy being in the presence of students and really hearing, what you're thinking. And what I heard was that you're looking for someone who understands, communicates with, and reflects the community. Thought you asked really, really great questions, and I thought you really spoke to what you value and prioritize in your own experience as students, which is the food that you eat, the activities that you get to do, and what is your experience in the classroom. And as Mr. O'Neill said, I jotted down some of your questions and I'll continue it. And I also appreciate Lucy Karp, who's one of our youngest participants, who actually, I think, suggested a specific person to be the superintendent. I think that's the interim principal of our school. So I really appreciated being here, and just want to thank all the students for their time and energy.
Thank you. Marcus, you want to bring us home?
Absolutely. So just as a reminder, we do have one more general public session on Saturday, April 2nd from 10 to noon. So make sure you mark your calendars for that. And as well, community members can register on the school committee website in the City of Boston website. Community members may also provide written comments to superintendent search at bostonpublicschools.org, or take the superintendent search public survey, which we have dropped in the chat. and it will also be posted on the Boston Public Schools and City of Boston websites and emailed to all the participants of these sessions. And last but not least, on behalf of my co-hosts, Jessica Tang, and all the members of the search committee, thank you again and have a wonderful night.